Getting building permits can be very lengthy as well as stressful. This is why this project was done for this client elevation plan. The client asked us to transform their 2D elevation plan into a 3D exterior rendering. The first and foremost, it was to get the building permits. Second, it was in order to have a clear direction for the contractors and all the architectural teams, as well as the potential client for which the house was going to be built. We first need to get the 2D elevation plan as well as the floor plan and the CAD. Ideally, what we need in order to complete a 3D exterior rendering, we'll need the 2D elevation plan, the floor plan, as well as the CAD drawings. The design schedule will have anything from the type of roofing that will be put on the 3D exterior rendering, the color of the shingles, there will be the color of the window frames, as well as the doors, the type of door, the color for the door, if there's a garage door, if there's no garage door, material is going to be, if there's any lighting, how much lighting there will be. So all the details, including all the details that we'll need in order to design, in order to give clear direction to the contractors and to the architectural team, will be included in the design schedule. And we'll need that in order to do the first draft of the 3D rendering. This is the first draft of the 3D rendering, which is a bit pinkish on the purple side, since it was an evening rendering that was asked initially by the client. We did two views. This is what was included in the package that the client chose. So we have the front view as well as the far right view for this house. In this rendering, what was changed was the color of the lighting, as well as the porch architectural details. It was slightly changed. So this is the final version. We changed it to a daylight rendering in order to remove the pinkish purple finish and in order to be able to see what the brick was going to look like during the day. It was much more clearer. And this is to show the difference between the first draft that we did and the final version. In regards to all the details we do need in order to complete a 3D exterior rendering, we need everything that is set out in the design schedule, which is the window frames. We need the color, the type of windows, as well as all the dimensions that were given in the CAD files and in the elevation plan. We also need the type of lighting that is going to be this. We usually ask the client to provide us with links to those products or to links to the vendor that they will be using in order to get the color closest to the reality that it's going to have, in order to get the color the closest to the reality, as well as the texture. The texture of the material is very important when we're talking about renderings. And when going to get a building permit, the cities will often ask for all of those small details to be rendered as well, because they really want to see if it's going to fit in rules and regulations of the city. So as this final result, we can see that we've worked with the landscaping. Also, the detail for the pavement was given to us in order to complete this rendering. The evening lighting, we've switched from the evening lighting to the daylight. This is one of the revisions that was done for the client. They preferred to have the daylight. And this is what we like to do when we work with clients. We include two revisions because sometimes it's the colors won't render the same when it's with a certain light versus another light. So this is what we can see in this rendering. And we could also see that all of the soffits details were changed, and the dual color for the roofing, we can see that here it was more of a black dual shingle that was given to us to work with. But in the end, the client asked to have a more grayish dual tone roofing. So this is some of the modifications that we're able to do when we're talking about a 3D rendering. This 3D rendering usually takes between 3 to 4 business days in order to get the first draft. We could also get a rush on a project if ever it is needed, but usually within a week, you will have your first draft, depending on when we receive all of the information. The first draft will be able to get out once we have all of the information that is needed in order to do the rendering, which means we need the elevation plan, the floor plan, the CAD plan as well, if available. If not, we're able to use PDF or JPEG in order to render. If you do not have access to a CAD file, because a lot of our clients do not have access to the CAD file, it's just that it will reduce the time that it will take to render the draft if you provide us with a CAD drawing, because we're able to put it in the system directly and to do the render. But the PDF file will have to be converted in order for us to be able to work it. This is why there is a bit of a time difference when we sue one and the other, maybe a 24-hour difference. So it will exactly be the same cost. This render is part of a package. If you would like to have any details in regards to the price of our packages, then you could click the link below and it will bring you to our website, which is at the www.procvconsulting.com in order to get all of the details. I am Stephanie. I am a project manager, so I usually work hand in hand with clients in order to get the final rendering and in order to do any tweaks or any revisions that need to be done, it will likely go through me and then passed on to the team. So I'm looking forward to working with you on this project. See you later. Bye.